In the corporate world, exits are often planned with press releases, farewell parties, and golden parachutes. But Carlos Ghosn's exit from Japan was something else entirely. It was cinematic, daring, almost mythological. Folded inside a music box, slipping past the gaze of the Japanese justice system, the former auto titan disappeared into the night, not in shame, but in silent defiance. This is the real story behind one of the most shocking escapes in modern corporate history. This is Episode 6, The Escape. Carlos Ghosn's arrest had stunned the global business world, but after spending over 100 days in solitary confinement, his new life under bail was a different kind of imprisonment. He lived in a modest Tokyo apartment under 24/7 surveillance. Cameras lined the hallways. Private security stationed near his home observed his every move. His mobile phone was confiscated. Internet access was tightly restricted. He couldn't meet his wife, Carol, or speak to her on the phone. Each outing required prior approval from the court. His passport was held by his lawyers. Visitors were vetted. Ghosn was being watched not just by the Japanese state but also by Nissan's internal security. He was a man trapped in plain sight, denied a fair trial date and increasingly isolated from the life he had known. Yet beneath the surface of this seemingly quiet exile, a bold escape plan was beginning to take shape. Carlos Ghosn knew he would not survive the Japanese legal system. His trial was delayed again and again. He feared being imprisoned for years without a conviction. To leave Japan, he needed a plan, and more importantly, he needed help. Enter Michael Taylor, a former Green Beret, private security contractor, and expert in complex extractions from hostile environments. Along with his son, Peter Taylor, Michael devised a plan that would exploit the gray areas of airport security. Osaka's Kansai International Airport was selected. Unlike Tokyo's airports, it had a private terminal for chartered jets with looser cargo inspections. Ghosn would hide inside a custom-designed black audio equipment box. It was reinforced, soundproof, and equipped with ventilation holes discreetly drilled into its underside. Meticulous rehearsals were carried out. Surveillance patterns were recorded. Luggage scans were studied. The mission was clear: get Ghosn out without a single spoken word. It began like any other day. Ghosn received visitors, two men disguised as musicians with large black audio equipment cases. They entered without raising suspicion. By evening, Ghosn had crawled into one of the cases. He curled his 6-foot frame into a fetal position and waited. The men wheeled the case through the lobby. No alarm was triggered. No questions were asked. The team took the Shinkansen, Japan's bullet train, from Tokyo to Osaka, avoiding the high-risk Tokyo airports. The box sat silently in the luggage compartment. At Kansai International Airport, they bypassed traditional security by checking the equipment case as oversized cargo for a private jet bound for Istanbul. There were no X-ray scans, no customs check, just a nod from the ground staff. At 11:10 p.m., the plane lifted off. Ghosn was airborne. From Istanbul, he changed planes and continued to Beirut, where his Lebanese citizenship, lack of an extradition treaty with Japan, and powerful local connections offered protection. By the time Japanese prosecutors realized he was missing, he was already home. News broke on New Year's Eve. Carlos Ghosn had fled. The Japanese government was stunned. The justice system had been humiliated. Media outlets from Tokyo to Paris exploded with speculation. How could a man under such tight control slip through one of the most sophisticated legal systems in the world? Interpol issued a red notice. Japan demanded answers. France expressed outrage. And Lebanon? It welcomed him with open arms. In Beirut, Ghosn held a now famous press conference. "I have not fled justice. I have escaped injustice." Ghosn detailed what he called Japan's rigged justice system, where prosecutors held nearly a 99% conviction rate and suspects could be detained indefinitely without charge. Public opinion was split. To some, he was a rogue executive dodging accountability. To others, a victim of a system designed to destroy. Meanwhile, Michael and Peter Taylor were arrested in the US, extradited to Japan, and sentenced. Turkish pilots who facilitated the stopover in Istanbul were tried and imprisoned. Japan tightened its airport security, and the world watched as Ghosn reinvented himself, not as a fugitive, but as a symbol of rebellion. Carlos Ghosn didn't just flee a country. He shattered the illusion that anyone, even the most powerful, is beyond confinement. His escape wasn't just a plan. It was a message. But messages come with consequences. Next time on Dealmaker Diaries. Episode 7, The Aftermath, What Carlos Ghosn Left Behind.